Frags and Coffee, episode 4. This is my Q&A series where I answer community questions that have been submitted, as well as talk about video games and ramble about channel topics, things like that. So it's a talking head video. Timestamps will be provided down below in case if you want to skip ahead to a specific topic. Like, sub, do all the YouTube stuff. It's greatly appreciated. Let's get into it. Okay, Q&A time. Our first question comes from Ramon Teak. Would you consider adding flowchart style map visuals? It would make it much easier to follow the progression and complexity of parentheses unfamiliar levels. Ramon Teak, thanks so much for submitting that question. Greatly appreciated. And that's an excellent question. I love the idea. It sounds great. It would require a bit more time. I don't know if I have the bandwidth to create my own maps. If I did another boomer shooter, an easy way would be to like no clip out of the map, top down, and you can see everything laid out, right? Take a snapshot. We've got a map, top down map. Otherwise, the other option is to find a map that someone else has created, a nice looking map, right? One that's easy to read and detailed just enough, right? So going that route, I'd have to get their permission to use it. You know, I don't want to just steal someone's image and use it on my channel for free. I think it really comes down to a game by game sort of basis. If I can do it, I'll do it. I don't know if that answers your question. Hopefully that answers your question. I love the idea. It's more about just like bandwidth and stuff, because recording, scripting, editing these videos takes a lot of time. Ramon Teak, thanks so much for that question. Let's move on. The next one comes from Dysfunctor. Really cool channel. I love the level analysis videos. Quake and Doom are two of my favorite games ever. Would you ever also consider doing similar videos for D4, I'm guessing Diablo 4 dungeons, since you mentioned it here? It's definitely Diablo 4. Or Dark Souls. Sen's Fortress could be a fun one. Dysfunctor, thanks so much for submitting that. Yes, as of the recording of this video, I just released a Bloodborne video, yes, a couple days ago. So, yeah, I love those games. I would actually love to revisit Dark Souls. The challenge there is trying to find ways to do my B-roll footage that you see me do in all my videos. That's like my favorite part when recording these, is trying to find these really beautiful camera shots, you know, get the composition just right and do nice camera pans and zooms and all that stuff, right? Well, to do that, I've got to use like cheats and stuff, right? Like no clip, no target, those kinds of commands. So I'd have to find a way to mod Dark Souls to allow those sort of debug tools, if you will. And Diablo 4 would be a cool one to do, but there's no way for me to do those kinds of cheats, right? So I'd really have to like dive in a dungeon, clear the dungeon, and then go around and, you know, zoom in as best as I can to show off like the amazing art in that game. The interesting thing too about Diablo 4's dungeons is some of them are randomly generated. Some of them are set. So the set ones would be easy ones to do. The randomly generated ones, I think I would just have to tackle that as like a theme set. Let's go over the underground catacomb type of setting, right? It's a bunch of like burials, graves, and things like that. And then there's like more cavernous types of dungeons. Those are just some examples, but you know, I'm gonna keep pumping these videos out. So at some point, yeah, I'd love to touch on those games. There's so many amazing games that we could do here. So thanks for submitting that question. And our final Q&A question comes from Talisman555. What do you think? Some talk with some legendary players and devs? Fatality, Lakerman, 04, Locky, Gits, Tim Willits, Mapmakers, Modders, Great work, man. Excellent question. Thanks for submitting that, Talisman 555. Yeah, I was talking to this with my wife the other day. I'd love to do some kind of interview sort of setup situation kind of thing. I don't know if I have a large enough audience built up on the channel to do that like today. Maybe some of these guys would be down to do it. But like Tim Willits, he's a busy guy, I think it would be really hard for me to get, some of those legendary developers on my channel. But it is something I would love to do. I'd love to pick their brains. I feel like I have questions in my head that I feel like nobody else has asked them. Most people talk about sort of surface level, like design sort of ideas and questions, but where was their headspace at designing certain maps? Ask them some more personal questions, like what was the studio vibe like at that moment? We know Quake was a really tough game to make for the developers. It broke the team up, right? But maybe there's some moments in there where there was joy that was experienced, or maybe they were heavily inspired by a movie, a show, or there was a specific song that they were listening to at that time. As for these like esports stars, I would love to talk to them. Here's the thing though, is like the hardest I ever went on esports, like watching it, following it, was during Quake Champions. Honestly, like I felt like that was the most I was tuned in to the scene. When I was younger playing Quake 1 and Quake 2, like I remember Fatality and Thresh because their names were huge, right? They were making the news. They were amazing players, but I didn't really watch a lot of matches. I remember playing some Quake demos. They used to you could record demos in Quake and replay them and see them in engine. So I downloaded one of Thresh's like matches back in the day and watched him play, essentially, right? And I was just like blown away by his map awareness and his movement and how well he managed his weapons and stuff. But I hope you have your coffee. I forgot to mention that in the intro. So yeah, I do want to do some sort of like interview sort of thing. I don't want to call it a podcast. Maybe it could be a podcast. Everyone's got podcasts nowadays. The Grit Gaming Podcast. I'd have to come up with a cooler name than that. But I love the idea. And maybe as the channel grows and, maybe at some point I start getting some help with the editing side of things and I can just rely on scripting and recording. That'll give me more time and more bandwidth to do these other fun little project ideas. So Talisman 555, thanks so much for submitting that, and I hope that answers your question. For everyone else watching, if you have a question you would like featured in a future episode, please tag it with Frags and Coffee. Leave it down in the comments of this video, in any video really, if you want your question featured on the show. Tag it with Frags and Coffee, and who knows, your question may be featured. All right, so here's the what's cooking part. We got a few things cooking here. In my WMTMG series, I've been kind of jumping around different games, and it seems like a lot of you really like Half-Life. And it's been tons of fun revisiting that world, right? The very first Half-Life especially. It's just super nostalgic. Takes me back to a time. The games that I was playing the most at that time were like Quake and Doom. And I hadn't really experienced, I think most of us had never really experienced anything like Half-Life before. And some of those early like promo videos and stuff showing off the tech, the AI, like it was just blowing our minds. So I'm really glad that everyone's enjoying the Half-Life videos. I'm going to continue working on them. The hard part for me is balancing work and play, because I just want to play through the game, but I have to work while playing it, right? So I can't just blast through it. I have to like stop, analyze the environments, and break them down as I do in my WMTMG videos. I'm not complaining. Don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, and this week we also introduced Bloodborne into the WMTMG series, and that is one of my top favorite games of all time, up there with Doom, Quake, Half-Life. Just a masterpiece of a game, and that's another one that I just want to blast through and play, and I can't really do that. So it's been a challenge, because I pretty much have to have like 2 saves. One is like for the work portion of my videos, and then the other one is like me playing. And yeah, that is a challenge, especially for a Soulsborne game where you don't have control of your saves for the most part. So anyhow, we're gonna see how this first video performs. I definitely want to do Central Yharnam. It's a huge space. I might have to divide it up into like different parts. Otherwise that video, the way I do things, it's gonna be like over an hour long. That's another thing too, is I feel like I need to streamline my sort of presentation style. Maybe try and find ways to cut out some unnecessary stuff. I have a hard time sort of taking things away from it because I feel like it's all important and it's all things that I want to show off. But anyhow, that's a me problem, not a you problem. Oh, coffee strong today. And I also want to say that the weapon videos are not dead. I've got a spreadsheet of weapons that I want to cover. In the past, though, I did say that I was going to focus more on the map videos because that is sort of my forte. The weapon videos I've kind of used as a way to fill out my video production schedule, you know, to put some content in between the map releases. So yeah, that's honestly been a challenge, just trying to figure out a balance. Like I said, my map videos are quite lengthy. Maybe I need to start breaking those up, kind of like with my ideas of Central Yharnam for Bloodborne. Maybe I need to divide them into more parts. What do you guys think? I mean, should I divide my WMTMG videos into parts, make them a little shorter, more easier to watch in shorter form? I'm thinking like 15-minute long videos as opposed to like a 30-minute long video. Does that sound more appealing to you all? Because if I do that, then maybe that gives me a little more time to make more weapon videos and maybe some other ideas that, you know, we've been discussing on and off here on the channel. Anyhow, yeah, please let me know down in the comment section. What am I playing? Diablo 4. I think I'm done with Diablo 4. I've been playing through the war plans. My character's getting stronger. My Apocalypse Warlock build is like unlocking, you know, as I'm finding the aspects that I need and the gear pieces. And the war plans, I have this weird feeling. It's so contradictory because like the war plans does a great job of presenting all of the end game activities in one spot. Like you select the activities you want and you go. And it's streamlined extremely well. You get tons of loot, tons of resources, and for some reason though, I'm having a hard time getting into that grind. I used to love that grind. I played the shit out of all the prior Diablos. Even before this Diablo 4 expansion, Lord of Hatred, I went back to Diablo 2 Remastered to check out the Warlock there, played through the whole campaign, and got into Hell difficulty. I'm probably going to go back to Diablo 2 Remastered before I go back to Diablo 4, to be honest. That game is just classic. And maybe that's why I'm struggling getting into Diablo 4. Like I said, it's a weird feeling because maybe it's because I'm old. I appreciate having grinds that aren't like as in your face, groomed, packaged, bowed, and delivered to you to just tear open and dive in. Whereas like Diablo 2 Remastered, I don't know, it was a more old school grind, right? Like you just repeat certain bosses, and it wasn't easy to get to those bosses. Like you got to teleport over through the waypoint. If you're not playing a lightning sork with the ability to teleport around the map, like you're just running through the maps, right? Like trying to get to the boss as fast as you can and taking down elite packs. Anyhow, I'm getting long-winded here. Diablo 4, I am done with it. On that note, I'm going to be going back to Marathon because Season 2 is right around the corner, and there are some amazing things coming to that game. If you haven't played Marathon yet, they're going to have a free week where you get to play between June 2nd and June 9th. So that would be a perfect time to dive in and check it out. I will be there. And if you're looking for people to play with, join my Discord because there's only a few of us and we would love to have more players to group up with. Link down in the description of this video. So yeah, besides Marathon, moving on, I am also playing Bloodborne again. I freaking love that game. Like, you know, I'm doing my recordings of the game, but I'm also playing the game separately on my own time and kind of taking my time through it, and just in a way it helps prepare me for the next video I'm going to make for it, because I'm previewing and refamiliarizing myself with the environments, the maps, the combat encounters. Yeah, it's just it's hard to balance work and play, right? I'll never forget the first time that I walked into Yharnam. And there's so many other experiences in that game that just like blowed my mind. So anyhow, that's what I'm playing. What are you guys all playing? Let me know down in the comment section. Hey, you've made it to the end. Tell your mom I said hi. That's a wrap for our 4th episode of Frags and Coffee. By the way, small little housekeeping here. I noticed that I misnumbered my WMTMG maps for the last like 3 releases. Oops, I fixed them. So the title of the video, the text, is updated with the proper episode number as well as the description. But in the video, I will say it's episode 33 for like 3 videos. Yeah. If you have a question you would like featured in a future episode of Frags and Coffee, please submit it down below in the comment section with the tag Frags and Coffee, and you may be featured. We've got a special shout out to Goat Commando 854 for the super thanks this month. It is greatly appreciated. If you would like a special shout out as well, consider supporting my work on these videos by providing a super thanks. Check out my membership tiers for special perks like early access to my videos, priority responses to your comments, and also special roles in my Discord, which is linked down in the description below. Enjoyed the video? Hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more great gaming content. And if you're looking for more, check out this recommended video right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.